Now, I've been forced. No, forced. I just got a lot of noise from the PR people about this Pathway script development thing that you were part of. Was that a big deal? Did it help develop the script? Did it make any difference at all? You wrote this film just basically. You sat with your keyboard and your word processor, and you basically banged this out, didn't you?
Well, I wrote it out of depression, because I wrote it because I had a film rejected that was a really commercial. It was like a pitch perfect Ferris Bueller's Day Off sort of mashup, and they had rejected it because they hadn't heard of Sia Furler, who was writing the songs, and Liam Hemsworth was going to be in it, but they didn't know who those people were. So I wrote this to make myself feel better. But what helped was I was nominated for the Monty Miller Award at the Australian Writers Guild, which is an award to support emerging writers, and stuff like that counts. It does help. You do want to be acknowledged for your work and to know that people are noticing and supporting you. And so that program and the Pathways program that's linked to, it was lovely.
Now, are you ready to accept the challenge?
Oh,
the Schembri challenge.
All right.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
Okay, here it comes. I'm a big shot Hollywood studio suit.
Yes.
And I've seen your lovely little film. Terrific little movie you've made here, mate.
Yep.
Really, really like it. Would love to give you a distribution deal in America.
Yep.
Really would like to open it on, I reckon, 2,000 or 3,000 screens. I reckon it'll be a really good Halloweenish hit if we do it right. But what I want you to do is, it's too wordy, and it's too long. So I want you to cut it down to about 95 minutes, and I want you to replace a lot of either cut out some of the dialogue-heavy scenes and replace them with scarier scenes. But I just want you to take the dialogue down a bit, and I want you to cut it down to about 95 minutes. Cut it any way you want. We will even pay for reshoots. But we actually like the film as it is. We like the ending. We like the whole theme of the bullies and the reconciliation and the redemption track and all the rest of it. But make it shorter, make it less wordy, down to 95 minutes, and we'll give you a distribution deal. What say you?
Well, yeah, it's very interesting because the pacing of the film is very divisive, and the characters are very verbose, and they do border on pretentiousness, because I think that's kind of how, as a teenager, you are very philosophical. My way of seeing it is, with this version of the film, I got to make the version I wanted, and I was very lucky and grateful for that opportunity. I do understand that it might stop a few people from really engaging, and I'm totally open to the idea of, trimming little bits if it means that it will resonate more with people, because I want this film to resonate with people. I don't want to lock people out. So I think there's a middle ground. I wouldn't make any significant changes, but I understand that some people might want it a little faster. I think we're used to films moving a little faster than they do.
We don't want you to change the essence of the film. We want you to improve it by making it shorter and picking up the pace, especially when they get to the school. Yep. There were sequences there that we felt slowed it down. Like when they're on, there's a whole rooftop sequence with the birds. Mm-hmm. You lose that scene. And there are other scenes that you can really condense and telescope. So, and I'll tell you what we'll also do to sweeten the deal for you. On the DVD, we'll let you do a little segment about how you cut it for the American audience. What do you say?
Well, look, it is one of those... I think the film's really tightly wound, so it was very hard to cut anything without it affecting many other things, But I think there are ways... Yeah, and it is really interesting because any time I look at a scene and go, oh, maybe that should go, someone will come up and go, well, that's my favourite moment. So it's a really tricky balance, So so it is a really funny thing. But I think that's what I kind of like about the film, is that it is imperfect, and it just reflects these characters in this moment in time. And so I'm very aware that will throw a few people out, but hopefully they can see past that and still enjoy the journey.
Last question. Are you happy with the level of awareness out there for your film? Too many films just come and go, mate. I've been watching them all this year. Really good, well-made Australian movies. They come, they open the next week, the week after they're out.
Yeah, look, it's a really tough moment in time because in a way we're still distributing films like it's the 90s, and it's a bit of a broken model. We're not quite getting behind them. We can't compete with the Marvel blockbusters that come out every day, So it is hard to creep through. Luckily with Mushroom Pictures, they are really they've got skin in the game, you know, and so they're really devoted to getting it out as widely as they can. I've been out of the country, so I've just got back in the last couple of days, so I'm not sure what the level of awareness is, but I know that the team at Mushroom are throwing everything they can at it. So, and that's really good to know, because I know a lot of filmmakers, they know they're not being supported, whereas that's different for me.